collecting stamps. So that's why I'm gone, the niggas cannot call you. You so fine when they at the mall, they maul you. And I get it, you bring all the love home to daddy. So when I'm floating, you miss a nigga badly. So mad at me, but you gotta chill, cause them other lame sweet, they build you a sugar hill. And that's not the real deal, Holyfield is it? And Nitty is the real deal, feel good visit. Trying to do me, you know? I'm out here on this grind. T-Martin got me in the booth. I'm working. I'm making these hits. And I guess these hits about you.
It's the Archivest, y'all. Exclusively interviewing
Frank Nitty.
We got Frank Nitt.
Yes,
from
sir.
Frank and Dank.
Frank and Dank. Detroit in the house. Quick disclaimer. I always wanted to know what the huge mega artists feel like to have somebody like their manager in the interview telling them what not to say and what to say. So my manager's sitting here, his ass on the computer though, so he ain't even paying me no attention. But it's cool, it's cool. I just wanted to feel with. I want to see how it felt. Yeah, a huge successful artist. That's me right now. Anyway, let's go.
And who is Frank Nitt from Frank and Dank?
Frank Nitt from Frank and Dank. Well, that's it. I am one half of the crew, Frank and Dank, out of Detroit City. Came up under the tutelage of one of the greatest producers, DJs, MC. He did everything, but more well known as a producer, Jay Dilla. JD, maybe if you don't know who Dilla is. James Yancey, if you know him personally, like I do. We come from Detroit, been putting out records since 1998. So the history is long, traveled the globe, even got a little history in Canada. You know what I mean? So everything is good. Frank Nitt, y'all.
And how was it to be on the album Welcome to Detroit, produced by the one and only best producers of all time?
You know, for me, career changing. You get what I'm saying? Like, took from me putting out, or Frank and Dank putting out singles, to all of a sudden we had this internationally recognized project out with, you know, again, one of the greatest producers ever. And, you know, it was career changing for me. So that's the best way I can sum it up. And that album in particular, we were there for the whole, Frank and Dank was there for the whole recording process. Like, Pause was the first track we recorded for the album. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, it was dope. And it just had so many dope features and just, it's a classic record. So, yeah, it was definitely monumental for me.
And would you like to share one of your stories with your friendship with Jay Dilla?
Wow, so many stories, man. We can go back for years and years and years. I'll tell y'all a tidbit. Don't nobody know that when he did Raise It Up, the vocals for Raise It Up, he did those vocals first thing. He had just woke up, and he did them first thing in the morning. And he did it because his voice sounded different. It sounded so gravelly and so kind of distorted that he liked it. So he went and he laid his verse, and he contemplated changing it and doing it over fresh. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep it because he came fresh out the bed, went downstairs in the basement of the crib in the hood, and laid those vocals. So for all y'all that don't know, them vocals was first thing in the morning, fresh out the bed, and he left it that way because he just liked the way it sounded. Evil genius. He's a genius.
And what is it like to be the first black member of the Jew-Tang?
Oh, man. Another momentous occasion for myself, you know, without being racist. Jews are good with money. They're good with money. Let's just say the Jews, very, very good with money. And, yeah, I want to be good with money one day, too. So, you know, when you want to learn something, you go learn from the best. I learned about music from Dilla. One of the best. I'm learning about money from Jews. That's all I got to say about that.
And on your new debut album,
yeah,
who did you want to collab with? And let us know.
Oh, man. This new album is... First, I'm doing all the production on it. The name of it is Stadium Music. There's so many people I would love. Like, I've been lucky in the last few years. In the last couple years, I've done records with Busta Rhymes. I've done records with DJ Quick. I've done records with Corrupt. And these are some of my all-time favorite MCs. Like, so for me, you know, it might be some old school cats, but like, I really want a record with Slick Rick. And I really want a record with Rakim. But that's just because I grew up on those guys. You get what I'm saying? Like, those guys were my hip-hop inspiration. You feel what I'm talking about? So, and then, you know, it's a couple of new cats out there that's just dope. And, you know, but I'll leave because I might be working on that. So I'm going to just keep that quiet. I love music. you know, I would cry. I want to do a record with Shania Twain. You know what I'm saying? She's a Canadian too. You know, I'm off on that. You know, I think Bruno Mars is dope. I think it's a lot of dope people out there. I would love to do a record with Lady Gaga, but I want to put on some dirty, no pop record. I want to come bring her to some dirty hip hop shit, but let her do her thing on it. She might spit a bar. Lady Gaga, holla at me. Get them bars out. Anyway.
And Frank and Dank, how do you blend so natural?
Ah, man, years of friendship. Me and Dank been friends well before we were doing music together, as well as Dilla. We all kind of grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same high schools and middle schools. So it's friendship. I done known Dank almost 25 years now. You know what I mean? So that's my brother. So it's like, yeah, what we do is just based off chemistry. Like, we don't have, even with our shows, we don't have a set show. We don't have, we know what songs we have in the catalog to do, but that's really about it. We don't have, let's do this here, do that there. We kind of do it off feel. That's just the nature of our relationship, that we just grew up as homies, and I know him, he know me. So I don't know, it just comes from us being friends prior to doing music.
And featured on Slum Village's Fantastic Volume 2, let us know your experience from it.
Ah, man. Yeah. That's a pretty peculiar situation right there, because nobody else from Detroit was on that record. It was only major acts on that record. They snuck me on there. That was, you know what, I'll leave that all to Dilla. That was all Dilla's doing, because that's a QD record that was playing, that Dilla had did the production on. I had dropped the verse on, and yeah, so like, that's a blessing. It's funny, me and Illa was talking about that, but that's a blessing that I'm even, that's a piece of history. That's classic. So to be involved in that, albeit very low key and under the radar, I ain't no name on there, none of that. It's just there. It's a total blessing. That, you know, I give that up to my cousin, man. That was Dilla's forethought.
And Fuck the Police, the unreleased track, a real acclaimed track.
Yeah.
Share with us about the masterpiece.
Well, you know, what's funny is the 12-inch of that, the record on the B-side is Move, that features me and Dank on it, right? And like, nobody knows about that record because Fuck the Police is on that side. You know what I'm saying? Like people know the record, but Fuck the Police is such a momentous record, and it's crazy. I was listening to NWA's version, and I never compared the two. Like, I understood that it was kind of the same thing, but I never compared the two. And maybe I'm biased, but I really like Dilla's version better. That's bad, but I do.
And 48 Hours, your opinions on the classic, and then a resurfaced bootleg when this dropped to all the fans without MCA.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I don't even know how that. Yeah, 48 Hours is a classic album, and I'll tell you why. Has nothing to do with Frank and Dank. It's one of, I think, 4 projects, or no, maybe 3 projects that was entirely produced by Dilla. That's not his own. Slum has one, we have one, and I don't know that anybody else has one. Yes, I don't know that, other than his own projects, I don't know that anybody else has a complete Dilla produced project. So, Illa J does. So, Slum Village, Frank and Dank, Illa J is the 3 dudes who have a complete Dilla produced record, right? So that makes it a classic. That gives it a separate notch up anyway. But that was also the point where JD became J Dilla. So in that sense, it's a classic record. For me, it was the beginning of my career. Like, we had did singles up until that point, and then we did Welcome to Detroit, and right after we did that, he signed us to McNasty MCA. So, like, that was the big leagues for us. You know what I'm saying? Major record deal. We doing it up. Like, this is what me, Dilla, and Dank talked about. This is what the crew talked about happening. And for me, that record represents that time. That represents me and my dudes taking it up to the next level and crossing that. We talked about this when nobody had nothing. And my dude got on, made these beats, made people dance and love what he did. And he then said, not only am I going to help my crew, the group that I'm in, but I'm going to help my guys too. And not only help my guys, I'm going to sign my guys. We're going to do it up. And we did it up. That record represents that. Never mind what happened with MCA. That's neither here nor there. a weird situation in itself. You know what I mean? Because the label was kind of in a strange position anyway. But that record kind of represents like a big time in my life. You know what I'm saying? A big time, I would imagine, for Dank and for Dilla for that matter. Like, it was a huge time, and then to be there with your homeboys and to be doing it that way. So 48 hours represents a lot for me. You know what I mean? And, you know, you'll probably see it again. I ain't even gonna say probably. You will see it again, but proper. It won't be what you saw before. It'll be proper.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've been in the business over 10 years. How do you feel about Drake, B.O.B.? Does this frustrate you as rhyming for such a long time in the industry?
Nah. Nope. I think it's good. You should have it's space for everybody. You get what I'm saying? And because I've been in the industry so long, I kind of got a grasp on why these things happen. You get what I'm saying? Like, why a dude that's only been around a year can get to that status or get nominated for awards without an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, these type of things. I understand how it happens. So, no, it doesn't frustrate me. I'm not, go. Me and Drake need to do a record. You know what I mean? Like, it's all good. Like, I'm not that guy. It's cool. I could imagine why somebody would be upset. You can't be upset about that guy. Let that guy do what he do. You go do what you do, and hopefully y'all can meet at the same spot and both have a pocket full of money and be happy. You know what I mean? But nah, it's cool. Like I'll hope for that type of success. I don't not want it. You get what I'm saying? But it just ain't my time. I feel like everybody had a time, and it hasn't been my time yet. My time is coming. And when it comes, believe you me, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run like oh my goodness, like a Jewish guy chasing a dollar. I'm running. Don't edit that out.
And extended play version 3.13 from 2004 and 2006.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the accomplishments of these records?
Ah, man. Well, the 2004 version was Canada only, right? And, we had 3 top 10 hip-hop records throughout Canada off that record. You get what I'm saying? So, and we toured the whole country. We came to Van City. We was all over the place. You know what I mean? We went up to Nova Scotia. We was all over the place, right? Tons of shows, a lot of fans in Canada. So it was definitely another level for us as a group, and definitely helped push our career further. And then 2006, actually, my manager, it was his label to actually put that record out in 2006. And again, it was just another step in what we needed to do. We had a large presence in Europe, but we needed to build. No, it was the next step in the chain. Like, we hadn't really put our foot in America per se. It was all outside of America. We did a lot of European stuff, and again, in Canada, things were popping. You get what I'm saying? So it was good for us on the state side and getting that record out. And then, Extended Play was a really interesting and good record because it mixed Canadian producers with American producers and 2 different styles and sounds, and it was, if you go back and listen to it and just listen to how we attacked records and what we did, it's a very worldly record. It can touch a lot of different people. You get what I'm saying? Like, when I do shows, it's certain records I'll do, say, in Toronto off that record that I won't do in Europe because Toronto took certain records different. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's a really good, dope project.
And let us know about the European Vacation,
Yeah.
featuring QD and Young RJ.
Oh, you talking about, okay.
Some of the last performances.
Yeah. The last on the tour. Like, it was basically us. What happened was me and Dank started filming footage because we were on tour prior to joining up with Dilla and going on that tour. Right? So we were on tour doing a few shows, and we had been filming footage anyway. And not for putting anything out, just to archive, to have something to have for ourselves, show the homies or whatever. And then when we jumped on the tour with Dilla, not even fully grasping what the situation was. Like, I didn't know he was in a wheelchair. I didn't find out until he came off the plane in Europe. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know. So, like, not understanding what was about to take place. Had no idea. And when he got there, one of the first things I did was, yo, I'm gonna have this camera out because, you know, me and him had a special relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's really, we shoot straight. If there wasn't any things, listen, bro, I had a camera on. If you don't want to be on camera, just tell me. And Frank, it's all good. It's all good. Just keep it rolling. Let's go. All right. So we just shot. Nothing planned. None of that. Just shot what we could shoot. And it turned into what you see. And what's crazy is that we had before it was ever to come out to the public, we wasn't going to put it out. We had an edited version that we were watching at the house. It had nothing. It was just to watch for us. And what's crazy, this was before Dilla passed away. You know what I'm saying? We had an edited version just kind of there. Just kind of sitting there watching it, just reliving that shit because it was crazy for us. You know what I'm saying? So that is a piece of history. That's a piece of history. I don't even know how to... I can't watch it anymore. I watched it a million times. I can't watch it now. Bits and pieces, it's funny, it's cool, but it's such a sentimental piece of history for me. I don't even really watch it no more. Like, I came into the crib we had in Cali, and we was getting ready to go out of town, and the homeboys was watching, the Jew and the homeboy Grim was watching it. You know, I came in and I went to the bathroom or something. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's just, I don't know, man. It's a definite piece of history. A monumental piece of history. And everybody who got a copy should really hold on to it. If you ain't seen it, go watch it. Never mind what Frank and Dank is doing. We acting silly and doing what we do, having a good time. You get what I'm saying? But you gotta watch the people and watch what actually takes place. Definite piece of history. And then, you know, we put music with that as well. EP that came, you get for free. Young RJ did all the production on it. It's really, really dope. Really dope.
And the biggest crowd that you guys have ever rocked, Frank and Dank?
40,000 at a hip hop camp in Czech Republic. It's a huge hip hop festival.
And featuring on J-Lib's Champion Sound, let us know.
Ah, man, I don't know. Did that record never knowing that it would be the record that it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, no idea. Just jumped in the studio and low key, we listened to the Mad Lib beat tape. Like, we was me, Dank, and Dilla listening to the Mad Lib beat tape. Now, all the beats were dope. But there were other ones where you just got a better reaction out of us. Where we're just like, ooh, that's it right there. Right? Dilla, with us, like, it was part of our maturation as artists. Like, he was real, not tough, but he want to challenge us. I'm not going to give you the easy shit. I'm going to give you something you got to work at. Okay, this the beat that y'all just nodded y'all head to, or y'all was just whatever about. Y'all didn't go crazy like y'all did over number 15. You doing a song to this tonight. And he put the beat up and he go upstairs and leave me and Dank in the studio. And that's how we worked. And his thing was, hey, when I wake up in the morning, I want to mix a record. I don't want to talk about it. I want to wake up, mix it, put it in the truck, and we're going to go ride it. I want to listen. So that was our work ethic. We would have to, you know, that night we got to bang out the whole song. Everything we going to do for this song, we got about 6 hours. And he loved the music so much he couldn't even sleep the whole time. Like, he couldn't even stay. He would have a girl. We had just left the bar. He got a girl with him. He got everything he could possibly need to stay upstairs for the rest of the night. 3 hours later, he back downstairs. What y'all got? Y'all got something? Because he loved it so much, and he just wanted to sit there and have vocals and have the beat and tweak, and that's what he loved to do. So it was part of McNasty Filth was definitely part of our training, because it wasn't like we instantly said that's the beat. He was like, nah, okay, that's the one y'all didn't pick. So okay, rap on that. So we did our thing, and it turned into the, you know, a monster.
And your favorite place to tour?
City or country?
Country.
Wow. I'll probably say Germany is probably my favorite country to tour, because it's a lot of places to go, and the people are into it a lot. But as a city, Paris, I don't know that there's a liver. I've never had a liver crowd. Like, they are two white guys from crowd surfing. It's what's happening in there because it is they be off the chain. Like if you watch the European Vacation, one of the shows that we showed was the pair, and kids went crazy, like just so yeah. Big up to Paris. Paris is really really dope. And then Montreal was crazy. If I'm talking about Canadian places, Montreal was crazy. Toronto's always good. It's Toronto. Actually, surprisingly enough, Nova Scotia was off the chain. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. There you go.
What are you trying to accomplish with this debut album that you're working on?
Just awareness. A lot of people know Frank and Dank. More people are learning about Frank Nitt. So I just got to continue to build on those. And I think this is a building block. And then and as well as, kind of my foray into the production side. It's for people to, the mixtape is one thing, but this is going to be a different level of it. So, I gotta turn it up. And then part of it's a challenge for me. As an artist, you want to try new things. You want to be proactive and move ahead. So for me, being at the helm as a producer and then the MC in the mix is, taking on a little more responsibility, being more hands-on with my craft. So this, and like I said before, it's really about awareness. It's really about getting the name out there, getting Frank Nitt as an entity as well as Frank and Dank out there. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And bringing a new sound, something that the landscape doesn't have right now.
And your newest EP, Jewels in My Backpack.
Yes, sir.
Let us know.
All produced by Terrace Martin. Terrace worked with Snoop Dogg, DJ Quick, Battle Cat, Talib Kweli, Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he plays he's one of the illest producers I know. Like, he plays drums, keys, horn, and he's lethal with the MPC. So you imagine what it's like, being able to work in the studio with him. And, EP features DJ Quick, features Corrupt, my man Jay Black, and then a bunch of other newer cast that's like from the West Coast, because I recorded the whole EP on the West Coast in Terrace Martin studio. And it was really actually pretty quick. Like, the EP is 6 joints out of maybe 12 or 13 that we did, and we did the first 9 in 3 days, right? Like, we just jumped in and just went bonkers, right? So it's a very dope, very friendly and warm experience. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I feel like I'm Detroit. I'm a Detroit MC till don't stop, until it don't work no more. And you know what I mean? Like, so I'm Detroit, and I come from the backpack underground scene, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Terrace, by working with Snoop Dogg, by working with Talib or DJ Quick and shit, or Quincy Jones, that's overground music. He's used to making a shinier, brighter sound. You get what I'm saying? So Jewels in My Backpack is that. It's the mixture of his shinier, brighter, more feel-good, radio-friendly sound mixed with my grimier, gritty backpack lyricism. You get what I'm saying? So Jewels in My Backpack is that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I call it an experience, because if you're familiar with me, you've never heard me on music like this. You get what I'm saying? And if you're familiar with him, you've never heard an MC like me on music like this. You get what I'm saying? So it's an experience either way you cut it. Jewels in My Backpack is a really dope, really, really dope situation. You should check it out.
And Shut the Fuck Up mixtape featuring Mocha Only, Master Ace, and Prime One. Let us know.
Oh, yeah, well, that's just one joint. That's one joint. The Illa J is actually on that same record. That's just one joint off the mixtape. But I did a all produced by myself mixtape. Got a couple of keyboard players, couple of rock guitar players, and different instruments on there as well. I just wanted to do a collection of joints with me as the producer. That was the most important thing. I rapped on most of it as well, but it's really me. It was really more for me as the producer. It's more for Frank Nitt, the producer. Just a way to get the people a taste of what it's gonna be like with me on the boards. You know what I mean? Like, so it's dope, man. Got a lot of dope singers on there and MCs and from all over the map, from Detroit to LA to Miami to, you know what I'm saying? So, and obviously up here in Vancouver with Mocha Only on there, and a bunch of MCs from the California area, from the different spots, from Long Beach, from, so the flavor's different. It's a different vibe. So, like, it turned into a really dope project. And basically you get it for free. You buy Jewels in My Backpack and you get it for free, basically. You get the mixtape for free, but you'll get it hard copy, jewel wrapped, you get all the credits. It's basically you get EP and an album together for $5 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, man, STFU the mixtape is, I'm very proud. I'm a proud papa right now.
And the best hip-hop memory that you've been part of?
Probably Welcome to Detroit. Welcome to Detroit is probably one of the most monumental pieces of work I've been a part of. Now, I've been privy to, you know, classics. What was officially Tribe's last tour, I was on that. I was hype man at Slum Village at the time. I was on that. That's Love Movement 99. That's classic. You know, you got to see, you know, Tribe. Anyway, you know, I've been lucky. I was around for basically the whole recording of Like Water for Chocolate. You get what I'm saying? Like classic times in the studio, like in the studio with Common in the studio working, and Dave Chappelle sitting there, and Mos Def and Talib is upstairs, and like classic hip hop. Buster coming to the studio, just classic hip hop meeting of the minds type shit. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I would say as a thing that I was involved in and a part of, I would say Welcome to Detroit was probably one of the most monumental things.
And how do you feel about hip hop today, and what do you think needs to change?
Hip hop today is, for me, the same as it was years ago. I think the only difference is they need to let more people in. And when I say in, I ain't talking about, you know, everybody can put out a record right now. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can put out a record right today because he can do it at home and put it on the internet for free. But there's 10 guys who can do it. Radio, TV, and all the extras that come along with besides just doing music. Maybe they should open that to 20 guys, 30 guys, 15 guys. Let's start with 15, right? But I think it should be more variety. I think hip-hop just, a lot of this other stuff that's happening needs to be let out as well. Other than that, it is what it is. You got to grind. Just like any other thing, you know, the indie rock dudes got to do the same thing. They got to get out in their father's busted van, hit them and 7 of the homeboys and all the drums on the roof, and drive around the country and try to make it happen. No different for hip-hop cats. Got to make it happen, man. If you ain't making it happen, it ain't going to happen.
And you have anything to share to the masses on behalf of Frank and Dank?
New Frank and Dank record coming soon. Jewels in My Backpack in stores. By the time you see this, it'll probably be in stores now. But it's online right now. Right now. When you see this, it's probably in stores. STFU, the mixtape. And Stadium Music coming soon. I'm getting to work on that soon. And, you know, everybody just support good hip-hop, man. Support good hip-hop and hold these hip-hop dudes to some type of standards. Don't allow them to slack on the music. They lucky. Understand that we lucky to be able to do this and be able to make a living at this. So hold them to a certain standard. Make sure the show is good. Don't stand for no whack show. Don't go. If it's whack, don't go.
And you got any shouts?
The whole world. Shout out to the whole world and all my Jewish brothers and sisters. I'll be back to number school tomorrow.
And this is the Archivest, and you already know the name, y'all.
Yes, sir. Frank Nitt. I'll let your boy.
I'm in so deep. I come a long way since me and Dilla in the G. And shit is not sweet. I'm a full-time grinder around the clock, motherfucker. Don't stop, motherfucker. I'm something like Nitty, how I grind so hard. I'ma shine, get mine, and minus the gun charge. I'm double-X large. You can get it from the source. Why you want it secondhand? Get it straight from the boss. The boy Frank Nitt. Ask about me, read the stat sheet. Master of the game, so I run it like a track meet. How you think a nigga play the game so long? Been around the world twice and I ain't got a hit song, so I stay on the road like I'm blue cream cheese. I like green, so I stay chasing Luke cream cheese with joints like these. Keep the ball game.